Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing. Today we're doing some themed ephemera for the new I Am Grateful journal. I'm using my Porch Prints Almost Autumn kit. And so today we're going to make a hidden journaling spot, just this cute little sunflower tag with a little bit of embellishment, and then an envelope. I'm using an envelope, recycled envelope. So that's what we're going to be working on today. So we're going to start with the tag because it's the easiest. So I already cut out my tag, and I do that just to save time, and that way I have plenty of time to do the other pieces without fussing around with all the other details. So I did already cut a vellum pocket using the same image, just on it's a different printable from the kit. But we're going to put that there on the bottom. I will ink all of this up. We've got the Sentiment Live. I've got this butterfly that I cut out of, this was a jelly print that I did using alcohol inks. It was phenomenally fun. So, and then I turned around, I had a few prints that were really, really good, and I actually coffee dyed them with a bunch of other papers, and so they just turned out. So, in fact, let me grab one of the other ones and show you what it looked like when it was all coffee dyed. So it was just really interesting what happened with these images. So give me just a second to find them here. Wasn't actually planning on doing that, so let me see if I can find them quickly. I know they're in here. Maybe they're in here. They might be in my box for this journal because I think I was going to maybe use them as a signature. So let me look here and see if I can find them. They're probably in here. Maybe. Not very organized apparently today. I may have to show those to you later because I don't see them right here quickly. But anyway, what was really cool about them is that the coffee dyeing was just phenomenal. It was just so beautiful. I'm actually even just looking for a scrap of this one because I didn't use the whole thing, but I'm not even finding that. So it's early in the day, so I'm not quite awake. I've not been feeling great. So we're going to go ahead and start with some inking, and I will be sure to cut that part out. So I'm going to go ahead and sew this pocket on and then do some stitching around the tag. So I will be right back. Okay, our tag is sewn around. So I went ahead and just sewed that pocket on. I did put a dot of art glitter glue in each of the corners here on the vellum just to hold it in place. So really simple tag. I need to kind of mass create some tags because I do a lot of this themed ephemera and special ephemera, and then I don't end up with enough tags at the end to kind of fill up all my spaces in the journal. So so there we've got that. And then what I wanted to do is come in with this this lace here at the bottom. So I've got this piece of kind of a brownish lace that I thought would be pretty down here. I was skeptical because I didn't really want to cover up the flowers. I think I'm going to go there so I at least see a little bit of the flowers here. So I've got my Fabri-Tac. I'm going to go ahead and get that ready here. And then we're just going to glue. I just like to set this onto the side here so that I know the width of the glue space that I need here. And I'm going to rub this off with my finger. I saw somebody do that on a video, and it helped there to not be too much of a seepage of that glue through the lace. So I'm going to try that. And I will have to trim this piece off a little bit. Let's see, where was my glue? There it is. We're just going to put that on there. I'm going to butt it up against this side so that I have less I can cut it all off of one side. Scooch that over. Love that. Perfect. So let me go ahead and trim this off. And again, just a simple tag. You all know how to make tags, but I thought I wanted to have 3 items, and I usually try to pick at least one of them that's a little bit less complex than the other ones, so just for time's sake. And then I wanted to use this lacy bit to put on top of it. So again, I'm gonna put some fabric tack on here. And then I'm going to just kind of line it up on one side so that I only have to trim one edge, hopefully. Get that down there. I'm going to use my paper towel to kind of push that down, like so. Okay. And then we're going to trim this off. And I wanted to use this butterfly down here right next to the sentiment that I'm choosing. So we're going to put that right there. I almost feel like it needs something, maybe not. I guess it's okay. What do you guys think? I think it's all right all by itself. It ties in beautifully with the colors, so I think we're just going to go with it. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that on one side of this, the bottom part of this lace, like right about there. Like so, and then we're going to put our live down here. It's a little bit big, but I like it in this case. Normally I would kind of trim that up a little bit, but I'm wondering if I want another little piece of that. Hang on just a second. I think I want another piece. Just a little bit to go underneath that word. I love the layering, so you guys know that if you've been watching me. Just going to cut off some of this so that I just have the center part of that lace. So like so, put that, yeah, it needs that. I think I'm going to cut off this little end though, and we're going to put that right here on the top of this lace, and then a little bit over the butterfly. Actually, I don't think the lace is going to go much over there, just a little bit. Again, press that down. And then we're going to put our word on top. I'm going to leave my strings because sometimes I like to leave them in a journal. So I'm going to go ahead and leave them in this case. And I can always trim them off later. And then what I thought I would do at the top is just do a topper with this lace here. And as you can see, I did back my tag with some coffee dyed paper. This is coffee dyed paper from my stash. I used coffee dyed it, and then I used some acrylic inks on there. So we're going to go ahead and attach this lace up here as kind of a pole or topper there. And again, just going to smooth that out so we don't have too much glue seeping out. And then just going to put that in place. I'm going to turn it over, and yeah, I think we don't even have to trim anything off. So I'm going to put that on there too. Again, smooth it out. And I'm going to kind of keep this topper a little bit tall, like so. And then we've got this little flower, which is pretty low profile for a piece of, for a plastic ephemera bit. So I thought it would be perfect on this design. So I'm going to go ahead and attach that also with some fabric tack right up here. And that tag is done. Simple and beautiful. And I will come back and do a little tag inside or a journal card or something. So that is project number 1. So how about we do our hidden paper clip? I've done these on my channel before, but I love them so much that I probably will do them for every journal that I create. And this is the button trim that I used in my Bohemian Beauty journal. I put it at the bottom of a page. I'm going to use that here. And then I've got this is from Scripture Scraps from my porch prints as well. And it says, Jesus is my refuge, and I love that. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on here. So what we're doing here to construct this, if you haven't seen any of the previous videos, is you basically are going to take I've already cut all my pieces, but I will explain what I did here. So you're going to have your main piece, which is just whatever size you want it to be for your journal. This one is, let's see, I don't precisely measure. This is about almost 7.5 by 4.5, so, or ish. So what you do is you take this, was whole once, and then you're going to cut another piece that is the exact same size. And oh, it's a little bit big. I may have to trim that off. It looks like it's off a little bit. That's strange. Yeah, let me get my pencil and mark that so that I can trim that. Not sure what happened there. I'm not a measurer. If you've watched me for any length of time, it frustrates me and I have a hard time reading the measurements on a ruler. So I'm just going to trim that little bit off, just because you do want them to be even. Otherwise it will create a problem later on. So you're going to create one that is the exact same size, and I'll explain why in a minute. And then you want to create another one that is narrower than your front piece. This might still be a little bit long. Sometimes I bring them up about here, but we'll see how this goes. It might be okay. And then we need a piece for so what's going to happen, we cut this piece off. And this is what creates the hidden journaling spot. So then we're going to glue this on to this narrower, shorter piece of paper. And you do want the back to be pretty because this is the part of the writing space. This is writing space and this is going to be writing space. And then this piece is going to go on the back of this. It's upside down, like so. So I always forget that piece, so I wanted to make sure I got it in. So basically it's going to be like that, and then it's going to tuck inside of here. And then to journal, you just pull it out. So it's really fantastic. I love it, love it, love it. So let me see. You can determine for yourself how much of this you want to cut off. I find less is more is better because depending on the paper you're using, it can be a little bit fussy to get it in and out, especially if this paper is weak. It's not very thick. I believe this is 60-pound paper, so you can tell by the sound that it's pretty thick. So this one is just under 2 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and set that. Well, I'm going to set this piece aside. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Yeah, we're going to glue. Sorry, we're going to glue this piece onto the backing again, which is the same size as this. It's just that we've already taken that piece off. So I'm going to glue around. I'm going to glue around the 3 sides using my art glitter glue, which I am not looking forward to refilling this bottle, but it's getting low. Come on. Does not want to come out. It didn't get used for a whole day. It's probably sad. There we go. There we go. So we're just going to attach that on here, butting it all the way up, making sure it's straight on the bottom and the sides, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Just kind of the usual technique here. I think I've got a little bit of an overhang, so we'll look at that here in a second and see if we need to trim that off. We do. We have just a sliver. And again, because I'm not a measurer, this often happens for me. It's not a big deal. My stuff works out just fine, even though I don't measure precisely. So there we've got that. So the next step, we're going to set that aside. The next step is we're going to take the narrower, shorter piece. That's going to be our hidden journaling spot. And we're going to go ahead and glue this on. You do want to pay careful notice that you're looking at this at the same time so that you're gluing this on the right part of this piece. Otherwise, it's going to defeat the purpose. And if you wanted this to not be hidden, you could actually ink the edge here and have it show that it's a pocket. I personally like that it's concealed, but that's completely up to you. So with this, what I like to do is turn it over and line it up first and then make some pencil marks so I know where my glue needs to go, because obviously it doesn't need to go all the way across this bit. So fingers are not working today. I think that looks about right. So I'm just going to make a quick pencil mark. And again, that's just going to help me to know where the glue is going to go on this piece. So I'll go ahead and add some art glitter glue here. Like so. And then we're going to go ahead and glue this on. And because I made those pencil marks, that's going to help me line this up really, really well too. Sometimes I have to get a little bit fussy because I don't measure. So I'm just going to make sure that that looks nice and even, and it does. So there we've got that. Then we're going to go ahead and glue this piece on the back. So we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to mark this edge so I know where to put the glue. And then we're going to glue that back piece on. I can't remember, I've linked the original maker of this in my videos before. I can't quite remember who it was off the top of my head this morning, but you can check out that other video as well. This was not my idea at all. It seems like it might have been Cara-Renee. Oh, this glue is just not happy. I'm like squeezing with all my might. It's hardly coming out. Okay, so now we're going to turn this over again. You want to make sure that your, especially your writing is going the right way. So in this case, the flower is upside down. That's just the design of the paper, but the writing is going the right way. So I'm going to just go ahead and set this down, and then I'm going to pick it up so that I can make sure it's all lined up. That everything looks good. If we have to trim a little bit, that's not a big deal. Like so. Oh, I forgot to ink this stuff. Boy, oh boy. We'll just ink around the edges. In fact, let's just do that right now. Completely forgot to ink. It's unusual and not like me. So we won't be able to ink that edge here, but that's okay. We don't want to ink that actually. Well, on the back you can ink it because it's not, the journaling, the hidden part is up here. So we will make sure that we don't ink here anyway. So, and again, if you want that to not be hidden, you could totally ink that before you glue these pieces on. So inking the front side and the back side. I just like that inked edge on my journaling spaces. This is great paper to journal on too. So I've never made these with a lighter weight paper. I don't think it would work very well with just copy weight paper personally, but oh, and then we need to ink this up too. And I did use, again, coffee dyed paper on the back here, because if this isn't going to get glued down, and I don't like to be locked into that one way or the other, this is still a beautiful writing space. I think I will probably clip this one into the journal. And just as an FYI, the next video I will be doing the construction of the journal, so we will be covering it and then putting our signatures in. Still working on the signatures and getting them stitched and all of that stuff. Boy, I've got quite a mess. What do I got? Purple all over the place. Probably from this pin. Yikes. That usually means it's on its last leg. Okay, I don't like all those crumbs. So here we go. So now we're going to go ahead and slide this in to our little sleeve here, and then you have some wiggle room here to kind of wiggle, wiggle, wiggle until you have it lined up the way you want it. And then we can kind of take a peek at it and see if everything looks straight. It does look straight, and our butterfly is fairly seamless. We are off a little bit here, so I'm going to do some trimming and then I will re-ink. Again, not a big deal. It happens. I don't really worry about it. Just fix and go. This side looks pretty good, so let's just ink that a little bit more there. And there's our hidden journaling spot. So what I wanted to do with this is put this trim down here at the bottom because I adore it, and I thought it really went with this print in this journal. So we're going to go ahead and use it. So I'm going to put some Fabri-Tac down here, and I'm going to do it the width of this ribbon. Pretty much like so. I'm just going to put that down, and then I will have to trim a bit. I might have to trim a bit on the edges. I have to be really careful though, because I don't want to cut off any of those button strings. So that's why I didn't do it before I went to put this together. So there we go. So I'm going to leave that set for a second, and then we can trim off those extra edges. So this is what the back of it looks like when you're done. Pretty cool. And then I've got this Jesus is my refuge, as I mentioned. I'm going to put that up here at the top. And again, this is my gratitude journal. This is going to be a journal for my use. So I'm selecting things that are meaningful to me in a particular way. So I'm going to cut this lace down a little bit here. I want that to go up there. And then I'm just going to put Jesus is my refuge. Just something really simple. I'm almost wondering if I want a piece of this, because it will tie in with what we've already been doing with this this stuff. So maybe that little scrap would be good. Yeah, way to use the scraps too. So again, I'm just going to put some glue here and put that lace down. Forgot to smooth it out. It's all right, I didn't use a lot. And then we're going to put this bit down too, just kind of right here in the middle. It doesn't go all the way across, but I think it's a nice little touch. And then our word. So I'm going to use this, and that's Scripture Scratch. I just made my note on the back of this because I always want to give credit and be able to point out all the pieces as much as I can, so that you guys can check them out and go to the Etsy shop and see what you like. So there we go. There is our hidden journaling spot and our little dangly button thing. So I'm going to try to carefully trim this. Carefully being the operative word. I want to make sure I don't affect those dangles. So I'm going to kind of go at an angle there. It's sticking out a little bit on this side, but I don't want to risk disconnecting that. So there is project number 2. So the last one that we're going to do is an envelope. We're going to use a recycled envelope. So I've already pulled, again, all of the bits that I want to use, and I'm just going to set those aside. And I will do some inking here, but I will have to ink as we go, because I have big pieces of paper that I'll be tearing up to collage here. So what I did is I've got, this was a failed print that I did. So this is the back of the envelope. I took just a mailer, and I opened it up on the 3 sides, and because I want to be able to utilize the window. So I picked this paper to go on the back, and I did deliberately, normally I would not have this paper cross over a fold line, but because this is an envelope, I want to stabilize that. So that's the reason why I'm doing that. And then the front, or the pocket, this is one of the girls, this is one of the kids from the MPP my Porch Prints kit, which I'll link below as well. This is the same kit that I used in my Summer Memories journal with that little cute little circular face that I did on a belly band. So I'll be sure to link this, but I wanted this to be a card that goes in, but I left it like this because I wanted to be able to tuck it in like so and be able to pull it out. So it's going to be wide there. And this measures, the width of this is 5.5, and then the height once folded is going to be just under 6 inches. And it's going to be, it's going to go over the page is the goal. So let's go ahead and start with a little bit of inking here. And I will again speed through that process. Okay, those items are inked. Again, I've got so many little crumbs here. So I think I'm going to start with gluing the back. I'm going to work on the construction of the actual envelope, and then we'll work on the journal card that's going to go in the window. So we're going to go ahead and glue this to the back. I do want to mark this fold line though, so that it so that we can get that to cover over. So see if I can see it. Let me go ahead and ink that just so that I can see it a little bit better on that edge. There we go. So that I know where that needs to fold. I'm not going to get my scoreboard out because it's a pain in the patootie. So I'm just going to fold it myself. And I'm just going to get that up there on that pencil line. And I'll just use my bone folder to crease that out really well. Like so. All right, perfect. So, thinking about this again. Oh, wait a minute. That needs to go the other way. It needs to be scored the other. Uh-oh. Well, that's not going to work. What was I thinking? Because if it's going on here like this, then this is going to fold. Oh, yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's right. Goodness gracious. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and glue this. I'm going to get my big art glitter glue out because that one's running low and I've got a big space to cover here. So I'm going to go ahead and just use the bigger bottle here. If I can get it unplugged, will be perfect. There we go. So I say, there we go. Is it really there we go? All right. I had already printed my kit on one side and then apparently had some of the paper that was already printed on one side in the printer when I went to do some of the ephemera, and so this is what I ended up with. Some of the ephemera printing over a coffee dyed backing on my paper, so that was kind of funny. There we go. So again, we're going to make sure that we've got the crease side up here, and we're all right side, going the right side up. Just going to line this up as best I can. Again, perfection is not the key. Uh-oh, gotta lift. Hang on, that didn't work very well. Come on, Renee. You're better than the paper. It's hard to work with these envelopes because they're thin. The paper is very thin. I'm just trying to get it sort of lined up. It's not perfect, but it's okay. We can trim some of this edge off if we need to. I've got some overlap over here that's crooked, but I'm not too concerned about it. So then that way that top is really stabilized, which is what I was going for. So we can go ahead and close this part because we are not going to have that be open. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that shut. I haven't done a lot of work with envelopes. I've been watching a lot of tutorials because I love the idea of it, but I haven't done it much myself, so practicing. Just smoothing that out. this is bothering me, so I am gonna trim this up here. It's just a little bit too much of an overhang there. We can trim all of this up later when we get to that point. So now I'm going to go ahead and work on collaging the front, and then we'll work on the journal card. So I had this piece cut to go over this, but now that I've got this backside stabilized, I don't think I need to do that. So I'm going to trim this down a little bit. I'm going to glue it on and then I'll trim it, if that makes any sense. We've already got quite a bit of stability by doing that back piece going over the fold there. So changing my mind. Oops, I just glued the whole part though. Goodness gracious. That's okay. We can work with it. Just going to put that up to that fold line, and then I can just trim the rest of that off here in a moment. I'll just wipe that glue off. Do I have some sticky scissors here? Let's see if I can find some scissors that have already been exposed to adhesive. There we go. Okay, so there we have that. I did not ink that, so let me do that really quick. Just going to ink that little area in between, and then this edges. I don't know how this is going to turn out. We'll see. We'll see. It's very stable now on the top, which was really my concern. So there we go. So now we're going to work on collaging this section around the window. So I pulled a variety of scraps from the kit to do that with. So I'll just be using my tear ruler to tear some of these pieces down. Hopefully I can stay in frame while I do this. Let me get some of this gunk off my desk here. There we go. Okay. So we've got that. So we're just going to kind of be looking and seeing what is needed here. I think I like this big green piece down here. I can actually just kind of generally put these on. They don't have to be precise because I can always cut off the edges. I'm going to see. Oh, excuse me, guys. I thought I had a piece of something that I was going to put in here, but I didn't do that. I was going to put in here so that when the journaling card wasn't on it, that it would be covered. So I'm going to have to do something with that because that looks terrible. And in fact, one of these pieces, oh, I think it might be this one that I intended to have be that piece. Let's see if that's the case. Yes, it was supposed to be this piece. So let me see if I can squeeze that in there really quick. Shouldn't be too difficult. Perfect. I just don't want that blue showing. So that worked out fine. A little bit rough process there, but that's what I had that piece for. I was trying to, it's been a while since I set this stuff aside, so I apologize for that. I'm going to go ahead and glue this closed here before I forget. So I hope you guys will check back when we start working on the construction of the journal. I am debating on just going ahead and doing the journal cover, creating my signatures, but not sewing in the signatures until I'm done. I might even do an elastic, you know, where you use the elastic to put your signatures in. I just don't know enough about it yet to feel confident, so I'm going to wait on that. I think I'm going to go ahead. I need another piece here, so let's do a little bit of brown. Will that one fit there? Perfecto. But I'm really thinking that I want to not put the signatures in or use an elastic binding, because my journals get so bulky, and that way I could kind of opt to pull stuff out if it's too much. So what I'm going to do here, again, like I mentioned, to tie in this print in other places, usually you want to kind of do things in threes. Is kind of a standard practice in all forms of art. It'll help to kind of tie the whole pink, all the pieces, all the colors together, all the designs together on this, and make everything look cohesive. So how about we can do this here? A little bit. I'm going to go there. I'm just going to tear that off a little bit. Yeah, I like that. I like it how it kind of goes over that part. So we need one more little bit. I think I'm just going to put a little bit there on that edge. Not anything too big. Go ahead and ink that. That work? I love that. Yes, let's do that. We'll trim off those edges and do a little bit of embellishing, not anything too fancy, and then we'll be done. So, oh, I love that. Love it, love it. Okay, so let's trim this stuff off. actually ending up cutting off some of this outer edge here too, because I'm feeling like it's looking really messy. So I did that, and I just want to make sure that my window, now so see, because I didn't cover the whole inside, we are going to see that blue. Kind of not something I thought of. I might have to think that through a little bit differently in the future, because I don't like that. I mean, I suppose we could put something in there, but maybe next time. There we go. So let's go ahead and ink these edges. Oh, we still have to do our journaling card. I forgot, guys. I was ready to say goodbye. I love this. Love it, love it. So it's going to go over a page. So let me just crease that. It's a little bit thick. So I'm just going to crease that really well, like so. And it'll have to paper clip over the top. So let's go ahead and do this. Completely forgot. So I did go ahead and round the edges on this end, which is the part that will pull out. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this little girl on here. And then I need to find a pull to put on. Some kind of pull. I do want that all the way to the edge because I already measured the part of the girl that I really wanted to have be in there. So let's see if we can find something to create a tag with here. I've got some paper ruffle thingies that I've made, so I'm going to just reach down here in my drawer and see if I can find those really quick. So I've got some paper ruffles. I've got some bits like this that make a nice little pull. Let's see if I can find one that's more in line. That would be gorgeous. See what I've got here. This would make a nice pull. We'll do that one. I don't know if you know what I mean, but because that's so raggedy and shorter on one end, it won't allow me enough room to pull it away from the edge to make it actually be a pull. So it would look like a pull, but it wouldn't actually be a pull. So this one will be perfect. In fact, I'm going to put a little bit of lace there too, just to make it a little bit prettier. So again, I'm going to trim off these. Oh, using sticky scissors is not useful. Go ahead and cut off this bit. Sorry, this video is taking so long. Longer than I expected. So yeah, I like that. In fact, I'm going to get one more piece because you know me and my lace. Let me grab one more more of a frilly-like lace to go there. And then we'll be done, I think. Let's see what we've got here. Just this would be perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that down first. You know how I love my lace and the layers. It's just my happy place. So I'm going to do that, and then we're going to put this one here. Kind of just give this layered effect here. Oh, that was art glitter glue. I didn't mean to grab that. It's okay. And then we're going to put our tab on. Okay, so what I do is I just kind of open this up. I stitched it. I just took some time and did a bunch of those all at once, and it was really cool. and fun to do, kind of a no-brain kind of activity, but still creative. So there we go. We're going to put the thicker part on the front, and I'm just going to let that stick out a bit, like so. Hopefully it's not going to be too long. Just going to push that down really well. And then let's go ahead and see if we can get her in the pocket here. Let's see how this goes. Yes, she's beautiful. Come on. Need that a little bit more in. Oh, that's really wide. I don't know why that's not sliding in more. I don't know if something's in the way or if I've got just excess glue there. That seems to be, I've got a little bit of excess glue. So I think this should be fine. Let me go ahead and measure it. It's still, my tab, so it's just 6 1/4, and then the tab will just stick out way outside the journal, which is what I wanted anyway. So that will be just fine. I just wish it would go in just a little bit more. I think it's because I glued that shut and then I wasn't paying much attention. There, we got her in a little bit further. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, so I pulled some bits here. I'm not sure exactly what I want to use. I don't want to overpower this piece. So I have this is a handmade paper from my neighbor, and I wanted to use it on this project. So I'm going to tear a piece of that off, and I think we're going to we want to kind of go up here in this corner. Yeah, right there. So I'm going to use my art glitter glue and just put this handmade paper down. I'll be using scraps of this throughout the project. I thought it was really a beautiful fit. So I'm going to tear that edge so it's not so perfect. I'm just going to go like that. And I've made this label. I have this punch that I bought recently. Oh, where did it go? I'm not sure, but it's this little taggy punch, as you can see. So I like it, and I think it's perfect for creating some little embellishments. So that's part of a pumpkin. We're just going to come down here like so, and then we're going to use Lazy Days. I'm just debating if I want to go ahead and put a little bit more of this lace here, just to, yeah, no, that won't work. Maybe another little piece of that other lace that I just used. I can find it easily. Not so easily. Oh, I just found something I might have to put on. Yes. Ooh, how about this one? Because this is a sheer piece. I have a hard time stopping, guys. Really hard time. Especially when it comes to kind of these clusters and this beauty. Oh, that's gorgeous. Okay, so let's go ahead and ink this, and then we will, I promise, then we will be done. I'm going to put our glitter glue, or excuse me, my Fabri-Tac right there. And then Lazy Days. So again, this is a journal that I'm making for myself, which is kind of weird because I've been making them and giving them away, but I really needed something to kind of create a space and a place for me to start doing a gratitude journal. So that's what I'm doing. So there we go. I think we are done. So this again is going to paper clip over the top of a page. And then we've got this beautiful writing space here that we can pull out. Something must be tacky in there. We can pull out right on the back. And we've got this beautiful little tabby bit. So there we go, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for sticking by. You know, even when it can get a little bit messy and feel disorganized, I appreciate that you're here. And if you like the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you like what I'm creating, if you'd hit the subscribe button, that just helps my channel be more visible on YouTube. I'm still fairly small, although I have gained a ton of followers, which I'm super grateful. I love creating for other people. That's my happy place. I don't do it for me. I mean, I do it for me and that it's a joy, but I like other people to have what I'm making. So there we go. So this is, these are our projects. So we've got our hidden journaling spot, our, what do you call this? Envelope flip and a tag. So there we go, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.